Jared Polin, PhonosPhoto.com, and this is your Photo News Fix. First up, last week I brought you rumors about a potential Nikon Z120-300 2.8 TC, and this week Nikon Rumors has shared what they are calling leaked pictures of the new lens. The pictures show a nameplate reading Nikon Z 120-300 2.8 TC VRS, and the back part of the lens where you see the built-in TC and 120-300 millimeters printed on the lens as well. Now I will say the printing of the 120-300 looks a little suspicious to me, but I generally give Nikon Rumors the benefit of the doubt when they post a rumor. Now we still don't know the weight or price of the lens, but my guess is it's going to be heavy and expensive. Now I know last week there were a few commenters saying something along the lines of, if Canon released something like this, you'd be talking about how great it is. Sorry to burst your bubble, douchebags, but I don't want a TC anywhere near any of my lenses. Now Canon has had TC lenses in the past, and they had issues as the lenses got older. Now usually the alignment of the TC changes slightly from usage, like banging it around or transporting it or just everyday wear and tear, leading to image quality issues. On top of that, there's added weight and cost because of the added TC. Case in point, the Nikon 400 2.8Z with a built-in TC. That lens is pretty amazing though. Now, are you a TC built-in or not person? Let me know down below. This fix is brought to you by Squarespace, my go-to when I want to quickly and easily build a website, buy a domain, and launch it in a matter of minutes. Mount Alliance. Now I use Squarespace for my personal website at jaredpolin.com. Not only is it simple, easy, and affordable to use, but if you're looking to sell your work online, Squarespace has online stores, offers Squarespace payments so you can accept things like Apple Pay and more. And guess what? Squarespace is so freaking easy because I've already uploaded a gallery of my Leica images from Paris, and I only landed about an hour ago from Paris itself. So it only took a few minutes to get a new gallery up. The reason it's so simple is I don't need to know any coding. It's in all caps, but I didn't want to yell it. Anyway, to get your 14-day free trial, head on over to squarespace.com/PhonosPhoto. If you decide that it's for you, use the code PhonosPhoto at checkout to get 10% off your first order. Next up, Leica has dropped the 35mm f1.2 Noctilux for their M line of cameras. Now this is the first time Leica's made a 35mm get the 1.2 treatment. Now since I personally don't know a lot about Leica, I had to look up the difference between Noctilux and Summilux and discovered the differences. The Noctilux line is basically the highest quality that they offer with the widest apertures, and Summilux is for super high quality but at a more affordable price and not 1.2. That's why it's not Noctilux.
Oh shit.
With that being said, I just got back from Paris a few hours ago where I spent the last 2.5 days using the Leica M11 monochrome with a 35 1.4 Summilux. Now I personally love 35 as a focal length because it's extremely versatile. I also love having super fast glass in terms of the f-stop as well. Now, while in Paris, I stopped by the Leica store and got to play with the new 35 1.2 for a few minutes. And guess what? It's a heck of a lot smaller than I expected it to be. It weighs in at 416 grams or 14.7 ounces only. So how was Leica able to make it so small?
The water was cold.
Well, for one, it's all mechanical. And two, it's utilizing a new house precision glass molding process, or PGM for short. This new process means sharper lenses with fewer imperfections, improved micro contrast, as well as natural looking bokeh. So what's it cost? Why, thank you for asking, because I know you really want to know what it's cost, because you're probably going to buy it.
Right.
It's reasonably priced at only $9,650. Yeah, almost $10,000, and Leica will sell every single one that they make. Now, I thought the 35 I took to Paris was expensive at $6,400, but this one takes the cake. And I like cake.
Love cake.
Now, after using a Leica M11 monochrome and the MEV1 for the last few days in Paris, I can tell you shooting anything moving at 1.2 is going to be almost impossible. But Jared, just drop your f-stop and zone focus. It's that easy. Thanks, assholes. If it was that easy, then why don't you own a fucking Leica and do it yourself?
Do you like to do it yourself?
That's the thing with Leica. It's hard to nail wide open shots unless you have control over your subject. Now here's my quick take on using a Leica. The way I set it up helped me take images with intent with just one shot, not multiple shots. Every time I press a button, I got one. If I miss something, I missed something. I couldn't go back and get it because there was no going back to do redos. But it was mighty difficult to quickly do focus when trying to take advantage of the faster aperture of the 35 1.4, which meant if I needed to run and gun and try to get something in focus that might be moving, I had to go to a higher aperture, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of having such fast glass. Now here's the thing, if this video gets 10,000 likes, do you think we can get Leica to give one of these 85 1.2s away?
No.
Well, let's find out. Let's get those 10,000 likes. And finally, Canon has announced not one, but two new RF lenses. Now one was rumored and the other, well, was a total shock and surprise. Introducing the RF 14mm f1.4 and the 7-14 2.8 to 3.5 fisheye. And guess what?
Oh shit, what?
I had both of them this past weekend in Paris. Now let's start with the 7-14, which is, if I'm correct, the first non-third-party fisheye for mirrorless in the modern era from Canon, Nikon, or Sony. Now I know that's kind of surprising, but then again, how many skateboard photographers are there actually in the world? Other than Atiba Jefferson, that is. The front element of this lens is absolutely insane. I had to be super vigilant and careful not to accidentally try standing it up without its lens cap on, because if I did that, I kind of probably would have broken the lens, which might have been fun to do, but I didn't want to do it. It's not my lens. So here's how this lens works. At 7mm, you get a full circle that covers 190 degrees, whereas Canon's EF8 to 15 fisheye, the old one, covered 180 degrees. Now this means I have to be super careful not to get my feet or hair in the frame when I'm composing. And at 14mm, you get the normal fisheye look, now at f3.5, and a field of view of 180 degrees diagonal. Now, Canon designed this lens with the ability to add drop-in filters. It comes with a clear filter one already built in, and it can take circular polarizers as well as variable NDs. Now, because it has this ability, it made the lens slightly longer, meaning Mr. King Cropper, aka Bruce Bennett, will not be able to use this in his net cam, but it would be a nice addition for concerts, stadiums, astrophotography, VR, and anywhere you need a unique look. But please remember to use fisheye responsibly. Now, in terms of price, it comes in at $1,899. And the second lens is the 14mm f1.4 VCM, which is ever so slightly bigger than the rest of the other VCM lineup. And it comes in at 1.27 pounds or 578 grams. And I do have to say, Canon has done a great job with the entire VCM lineup. Now, when you compare it to something like Sigma's 14 1.4 that comes in at twice the weight, the size savings is staggering. Now, this is Canon's widest and fastest lens they've ever made because their old 14mm was a 14 2.8. Not like its fisheye brother, 14mm is very limiting, but when you need it, it's going to do wonders for your images. Now, personally, I would like to see a faster wide zoom like a 14 to 20 f2 to give me more versatility, but I've always loved shooting at 14mm and could see this making an appearance in my bag for those environmental portraits that I like to capture, especially in low light situations. Now, if you're sitting there saying that this is the perfect lens for you, get ready to fork over $2,600 for that privilege. Now, if you had to pick one of these two lenses, and only one of these two lenses, which one would you be taking and why? Let me know down below. And there you have it. That's your photo news fix this time around. Thank you very much for watching. Jared Polin, PhotoNewsPhoto.com. See ya.